Welcome to another Monday. It's been a while, so Happy New Year. It's important for me to reset and listen to going inward at the end of the year so that new creative energy can flow from a nourished well opposed to continuing that wheel, the hamster wheel, keep going and pushing and forcing. And so it feels good to be here with you all now, feeling that natural arising of energy moving forth and feeling that new creative energy flowing from winter as we head into springtime. Hi Priya, welcome. Hi Anastasia, thank you for being here. Welcome, my name is Sonia. Welcome to another Mothering Wisdom Mondays, where this may be my last live for Mothering Wisdom Mondays. I may be offering more written posts. I'm really being called to share more of my mothering journey as a single mom with my son, and so that's what I've been doing when I haven't been live, been writing. Feels like my own kind of reflections going back, my own kind of novel in a way, and feels like also a gift to gift that to my son later in life. And so I've been called to do a little bit more writing, so I may be writing and sharing more posts and images of our journey in life and our unique path. And I'm here to support you on your unique path. That anything that I share, it's not from science, it's not from reading any books. It's really been about my own unique journey of tapping into some call it intuition, really my connection with my own inner guidance that is really a direct eminence from God, from creation. And a lot of what I share is really from that direct experience of engaging with life, engaging as a mother, and really moving right into the challenge in the moment, or the opportunity of diving headfirst a lot of times, and later just evaluating, okay, what's here for me, and moving into it. And a lot of times it's unprocessed, emotions, a lot from this lifetime, from past lives, and it's really an opportunity to continue growing and evolving, to awaken to our true nature. So what's been coming in today, as my son is in the other room on technology, I was really, Spirit has been wanting me to have this conversation for a while as I've been evaluating my own process with media and children. And it really has started at a young age. He's 13 now. And I remember as a single mom, not really having another partner ever in his life, not living with another kind of masculine father figure energy that has been co-parenting with me. I've had a lot of support with friends and family, thank you. However, really it's been that solo journey of tuning into what is in alignment with myself, and also as a mother, and also listening to his soul, and how each child is completely uniquely different. Some of you that have more than one child, just because they were, birthed by you and through you, that they're here on their own journey, and that they're not replicates of us, or they're not replicates of each other. Really, thank goodness, right, for the uniqueness. So I want to honor all of the mothers out there, all of the single mothers, and all of the fathers maybe raising your children alone, all of the grandmothers, really all of the caretakers of our children, acknowledging that there's so many different unique ways that our children are cared for, and really inviting that, really this whole journey is tuning into what feels right in each moment, and that we are human, and we may kind of make mistakes, but in that, we learn and grow and it really challenges us in a really beautiful way. So all about, what I'm sharing today is about technology. It's not something that, for me, not making it wrong. I'm using technology here. I use the technology of being in a sauna before to meditate and tune in. That's what I enjoy doing sometimes before working or being live, and really embracing all of it and embracing balance. So what I really recommend when I talk to clients and they're asking for guidance or wisdom, and what I invite is, we can do that right now, is tuning in to what feels right in alignment with you as a mother, and trusting your innate wisdom. And that really starts when in utero, when you're pregnant, and it's all about that connection, that online connection, that it doesn't have to be technology to be online and connected, that it's about being online with yourself in alignment with spirit. That's what I choose. It's what has really been my path and my journey, is to connect deeper with the unseen energies that are here supporting us in every waking moment. And sometimes when we feel isolated and alone in humanity, that it's really connecting to the celestial guidance and wisdom of where we come from, and really honoring that it's as real and true as that feeling. And so I'm inviting that same feeling when you are feeling into like technology in your child's life, and not to shame yourself or feel guilty, but simply, how can we balance? It really is, life is about a balance. And so if our children are online, I remember as a young child, it would have been easier for me to have my son, since I couldn't afford babysitting, just to, have him sit in front of a screen to babysit, so that I can take some space for myself. And there was something, I was really connected to that inner voice within myself. And I was really listening at that point to that, more often than not. Sometimes I'd forget, which happened a lot. But about technology, I noticed that when we would watch movies, which is always fun, we still do, of course, he would start like throwing himself on the ground and being really ungrounded. That's the word that would come in. And he would start being a little more kind of commanding or demanding, or drawing more. It was almost like he was almost crying out for support to ground and anchor. And so I started noticing this. I'm like, wow, what's going on? Every time we watch a movie, or there's a little bit of screen time, I'm noticing there's a shift in his energy. I work in the word in term of energy. I feel like a lot of anyway, we'll just use energy. And he would go outside. I would say, okay, let's go outside. Let's take your shoes off and ground. That grounding on the earth would be part of the balance. Eating nourishing foods. There are also foods that help with EMFs. And so, like, he loved chlorella tablets. And so that's something that he naturally would be attracted to. I would say, oh, do you want a cookie or chlorella tablets? And he would actually choose chlorella tablets. For cleansing and purifying the system, alkalizing the body and the system. So it's all about the balance. It's okay, obviously. And really, this is your own, I'm not telling you to do or live a certain way, simply sharing and imparting my own wisdom of what works for us in our family. And it's an invitation for you to tune into your children, and if whatever resonates with you, of course, to try it out. And so being online right after having a nourishing snack, lots of water, balancing with being outside. There are statistics that show the increase of social media or technology on children leads to, depression in children, emotional unrest, obesity, and not feeling motivated or inspired. And really what I ask of you as a mother, as a being that are caring for children, how do you feel after perhaps scrolling for 5 minutes, half an hour, an hour? How do you feel after that? Notice how you feel in your body, and you're an adult. And your brain is completely developed. And not to say that we can't awaken dormant parts of our brain. I feel like that's a continuous journey and intrigue for me to continue, utilizing the full spectrum of the brain and turning more of that on. But children's brains, they're still developing, and they may not have the self-awareness that we have. And that's why they're living with us. We're their guides and their mentors. And so for me, it's been important to teach my child, self-awareness. Well, how do you feel when you're on, even at a young age? How do you feel when mommy gives you a hug? And we breathe and we connect. How do you feel? And then they'll answer. How do you feel after, you can just ask. And if they're not able to share, because sometimes, when they're under 7, they're not really connected to their bodies as much. And so we're supporting them in connecting with their bodies, connecting with their emotions, they're already connected to spirit and spirituality, really, they're already connected to the whole web of life, especially at that young age. They're so connected to their soul, and then they start moving out of that and they forget almost who they are. So then the journey is to remember who they are and going on their own soul journey and allowing them to go on that, with loving support. So grounding, nutrition, supporting them, so acknowledging that some of you are working away from the home, or maybe you're working at home right now. Everyone's at home, and for you to be able to work, sometimes it is, there's some extra screen time. So perhaps you're setting up cohort, we're using cohort a lot right now with the pandemic, and cohort play groups, or maybe you're reaching out. It's mothering can be very isolating, and as mothers, some of us, we don't ask for support or for help, and really, or for receiving. But that's what could best serve our journey, is especially as a single mom, being okay with the journey of opening to support, for receiving, for self-care, and calling up friends or family and setting up kind of play dates with them, or maybe they have a conversation with grandma, or now Zoom has been a really beautiful technology. My parents read to their younger grandkids on Zoom, and they're able to connect. So there's so many different ways that we can reach out and get really curious and creative during this time where our children are on school, a lot more than perhaps is that we would like for them. And noticing their emotions, to really, really tune in. And if you're not connected to your emotions, we're coming out of a time where we weren't allowed to feel our emotions. And so right now, it's children, they really bring us, they help us awaken and evolve and grow within us. If we allow it, they can be our teachers, our gurus in a way, and they illuminate what is already within us, whether it's deep love. Maybe we never experienced unconditional love before, and we do with children. Perhaps it's that rage within us, when we've just had enough, when our nervous system is fried and we've been going and doing and making a million snacks a day. It shows us our depletion. It shows us, they show us and reflect and illuminate what we need to nurture our own inner child and to heal that part and that aspect of ourselves. Because everyone has come in, all of you, all of us have come in the same way, and then we have our own unique journey of that healing and self-discovery and really bringing in, the components of healing. For one is self-awareness for yourself, and therefore understanding what that feels like to be self-aware, to notice when you're on technology, how do you feel, and therefore, sharing that with your children, being present with yourself. Whoa, I've just been going, I need to just sit here for a moment. Maybe you're in the bathroom, you lock the door for a moment, you're sitting and pausing, you take a shower. With those of you with young ones, that's how it is sometimes, that's what it looks like. For feeling connected with something beyond, with spirit, inviting spirit in life, inviting ritual in life, and sharing that with our children, whether it's before eating, sharing a blessing. What are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? So after a day of being connected on technology, allowing to slow down. We all need to eat, so maybe it's at the dinner table, after they've been running around outside barefoot for a little bit, playing in the rain, being outside with friends, for them to be in that imaginative land and world in which is so healthy for them to be in, to live in their natural state of being, the more we do this, the more it becomes a habit, and now my son will do that. I'll notice, I'm in my process right now with a preteen is to step back and allow him to kind of self-regulate. And so over the years, if he's on, he's been on media, I'm just, okay, let's go outside and reset or balance. I use certain words, and he'll do that. And we might watch a movie on Friday night, and then afterwards, it's like, whoa, I need to go, reset, or I'm going to go outside. And so he'll go outside barefoot. We have a medicine wheel. He'll walk around that a few times. He'll take a, breath of fresh air and kind of reconnect with himself that way, or then placing words on what I feel he's doing, and then he'll go to bed. And now I do the same thing. I'm like, wow, he's really doing it. When am I not really taking that medicine for myself and bringing more? How can I bring more balance in my life and self-awareness and presence? And that's an act of self-love and respect for life, really. And also love and connection. The more that we are aware of what we need, and we love ourselves and connect and take that moment where it feels like, wow, I should be spending time with my child right now. And sometimes that pause is what will replenish even a little bit of the well, that's maybe malnourished or dry or needs a little bit of reset. And then they learn how to take care of themselves that way as well. So yeah, it is about self-regulating and tuning in. And then those, we have chosen not to give a phone to my 13-year-old. I feel like it's really important for him to be able to know and who he is before going out onto social media sites and Instagram and such, and seeing all the images and everything that's so external and outside of themselves. And so that's something else that I definitely recommend, that the journey with your child, if they have a phone, great, but maybe there's a boundary, that they have so much time a day on it, and then they have to put it in a basket, over on the mantle. And they need to choose, these are your choices. You can go and hang out outside, or invite a friend over, or go for a bike ride, or draw, or play an instrument, or just whatever they like, and not projecting what we like onto them. But for some, it's like playing baseball, playing games with friends, or going outside, or going for a bike ride. And that's what he did this morning. I said, okay, instead of getting on and checking out the sports scores on media before you go on to media for school, You can practice yoga with me. You can go for a walk, go for a run, go for a bike ride. And he chose to go for a solo bike ride and came back and some physical activity, move the energy. And it's really about moving energy. And so physical activity can help, metabolize anything that's not been processed through our mind. And it helps us go from our mind into our bodies, move and metabolize emotional energy, and therefore feel more connected to self, to spirit, to the earth, and really, all of creation. And that is my complete wish, that every children feel free within their own bodies, that they know who they are from the inside out, and that they learn balance. They learn to be in the world. They want to fully be here embodied, with spirit guiding them, following their hearts, and believing in them, telling them every night, I love you, I believe in you, I'm so proud of you. And it doesn't need to be for anything other than I'm proud of you for being you, the most amazing, unique you that ever existed. It's true. And I'm proud of all of you out there for being the most amazing you that nobody else can be. And then may we continue to walk in this world with balance, in balance, with love in our hearts, and hand in hand with creation, that we are supported, that even on this beautiful technology that we're on now, that we're connected all over the country, all over the world. And more than ever, this week, it's a big one. We have a new moon tomorrow, and if you're feeling really kind of chaotic and not knowing, breathe and be outside and slow down. And perhaps it's not a week of doing, it's a week of being, or taking moments to be, and feeling inspired, picking up an instrument, painting, drawing, meditating, and passing that on to your children. They see that you're inspired, they see that you're connecting with your creative side, and they will model, you're modeling that for them. And it's a beautiful thing that they still get to be themselves, and that they adapt creative ways of expressing themselves that feel in alignment with themselves, their higher self, their spiritual and soul self. So thank you for joining me today. From here on out, I'm going to be offering likely one anchored in live a week. And stay tuned. I'll let you know what day that is. And I'll likely offer shorter mothering, more like 5-10 minute mothering wisdom messages that I'll be posting more likely on YouTube. And my weekly live will be really connecting on mothering, on wild soul, really connecting with that authentic true nature of who we are. And so I might join, maybe we're moving, maybe we're breathing or dancing or meditating, and just really being in the moment with it, because that's what inspires me. And that's the only way to do it, if I'm sharing and imparting, that it's coming from that inspired space. So thank you all for joining me today, and for joining me over the last few months. It's been such a beautiful journey to drop in with you this way. And until next time, all right, blessings.